So we've just gone onto the main menu and now we're going to go through the variant setup. So the variant setup, basically anything in bright silver is basically an option that the operator can modify. So when it goes in, he can change the description of the variant, he can set the torque target and its tolerance, and so on and so forth. Whenever you go over a limit, so whenever you go over the maximum torque of the transducer or the maximum rotation that you can achieve, the value should give you an exclamation mark, which will basically tell you that the variant data is insufficient, it's not happy. On the variant setup, you can save this data, and the reason why I put it in there is just so if you were selecting a new variant and all you want to do is change the description or put a temporary value in there, you can put that string in and you can save the data. However, when you come to select the variant, if you've got all the items are okay for you to run the variant, you can load that variant. But if there's any items which it's not happy with, in this occasion variant 5, it says it cannot load the variant, and when you press load it just won't enter into the machine. So that's the variant setup. The options you've got are to do the variant description, the torque target and its tolerance, the data logging interval. So with the way we're data logging at the moment, you've got a maximum of 720 plots, and whatever rotation target you put in there, it will tell you what your minimum interval is in degrees to be able to data log. So in this case, we're allowed 1.5 degrees as our lowest increment, giving you a maximum number of 720 plots to use. So in this instance, you can change it to 10 degrees, so it will plot a point on the graph every 10 degrees, and that gives you 108 individual increments. Okay, so that's the variant setup. The next selection will be manual functions, so it kind of simplifies the menu. So it comes into a main menu for manual functions. In this instance we'll go to function 50, which is for the hydraulic pump, and it's given me two options for the hydraulic pump manual function. So it's abbreviated the top banner to give you only the function message as well as the function number. And now if I try and ask the hydraulic pump to run and hold on to the target, it gives you an action of what it's trying to achieve. So it's already running, and if I release it will just go back onto select another manual function. A good instance of this is if I'm trying to close a hydraulic clamp. You've got the clamp pressure that you can achieve and so on and so forth, but if I ask this to close now with the guard door open, it should come up with an interlock message as shown, saying interlock waiting for the guard door closed. So no matter what manual function you go into, if you try and ask it to do something and it's not happy, it should show an adjacent message which will allow it to stop the job. So in this case, I know I need to close the guard door to continue. So if I go on to manual functions, guard door, I ask it to lock. So it's saying that waiting for the guard door locked. I can close the guard door. It shows me feedback on the screen of whether the guard door is closed or not. And now if I return to the hydraulic clamps and ask it to close, this time now I've got a function message saying it's waiting for it to close. Okay, so in essence all manual functions are exactly the same, they all function in the same way. So that's all your manual function screens that we'll go through at the moment. Okay, going on from that, we've got just a very basic input and output monitor. So looking at the current inputs on the machine, you can toggle through all of the inputs. The same with the outputs, giving you a status state on the right hand side, and then any current analog values that you've got in the machine. These values are scaled values, so they're not the raw value that you're getting directly into the input card or output card. Okay, we've got a date and time. This screen's due to change, but basically, because we're data logging to USB, we want to make sure the time and date is correct for your time zone as well as ours currently. So you've got the option to go into the date and time and adjust the time accordingly. Okay, and that is basically all the screens that the operator will have access to. So if we return back to the home screen, we'll put it into auto. So we're currently running variant 2. And in this case now, because we're okay to run, the auto cycle is prompting me to press start. So if I press start, the machine will return back to a home position, and it's prompting the operator constantly to say what it's waiting for. So in this instance now, we're on step 70 of the auto sequence, and the operator is being prompted to remove the part. So in this occasion, the guard door is open. I can go inside and I can remove the part. I've got a function at the moment on the HMI, which is basically saying that we can bypass the load of the parts, and this can be password protected to suit when the application gets sent abroad. So now we passed the part in place status. The next step was checking for part in place, which is already on, and in this instance now it's saying waiting for the test to be started. So if I hold on to the test start for a small delay, it's now saying it's waiting for the guard door to be locked. There is an interlock in place on this step, where if I tell the part in place that it's no longer there, the screen should be saying that it's waiting for an interlock of the part present. So if I want to show the screen edge. So on the message, action 4 lock, waiting for guard door for part present. So if I tell it the part is there, it's now reverted back to waiting for guard door locked. We can close the guard door. And now it's starting the hydraulic pump, clamp into the recipe pressure, and it's starting the test. So now we've got a trace data screen, which shows the current torque over angle, and it shows you what you're trying to achieve as well as your rotation target. So the rotation target from left to right is from 0 degrees all the way up to the maximum rotation, which is 720 degrees. And the test will continue until it reaches either the torque max or whether it reaches the rotation target. So in this instance, we're actually going to torque out. I'm expecting it to. Okay, so in this instance we've not reached our target position, and our torque value has actually gone over the maximum torque that we've allowed for this recipe. So an operator action is just shown up on the screen, so it will happen either on this screen or the home screen, and you can see that all these push buttons are now available to the operator. So the test check is saying that the test is completed and it's waiting for an operator action to continue. So in this case you've got 3 options. If there's rotation remaining that we can still test, then the operator's got the addition where we can apply extra torque. So in this case, if we say we want to apply an extra 20 to the torque, our recipe target remains at 410, although our maximum test target now is gone to 430, and the operator has to apply extra torque and press confirm to continue. So if we press confirm, the test is now still in progress, it's continuing. And this time now we've actually reached our target position. So if we come back to the operator action, we're no longer allowed to apply any additional torque because the test is complete. However, we have got a test status of a pass because we're within the new band that we've just set. But also we've got the option to either save the data to USB or to not save the data. So these can be toggled on or off. So you can select between each action. The operator's being prompted on which action he's selected at the top, and then you can press confirm to say you want to complete that action. So if we save to the USB, there should be a slight pause to say it's data login, then the pressure is released and the machine returns back to a home position. Okay, then it's a closed loop system, so it's back into a recovery sequence, and it's now prompting for the part to be removed. So again, if I say the part has been removed, and we're back into another test. So that's a closed loop for a test for this specific variant. Now you can stop the test at any time and it clears the sequencer, and at this point now, if you wanted to select a new variant or go into any menus to change the variant data, you have to be in a manual mode. So if we select manual and we go into variant select, and if we select a different variant that we can, we've got data in there that's okay, we can now select that variant with a different torque, with a different rotation target, and start a new test.